Hello everyone, and welcome to another video. Okay, so in this video we'll be treating the first law of thermodynamics. Okay, so for the first law of thermodynamics there are some 4 basic things you need to know. Okay, so all the thermodynamics videos or all the thermody videos I'll be sharing on this channel will be straight to the point. Okay, there wouldn't be any form of dangling around and all that. Okay, I'll just move straight to the point, pinpoint the most important concept you need to understand, and then we move from there. Right, so in case you are new to this channel, kindly subscribe, hit on the bell icon so that you don't miss out on any uploaded video, and then like the video, share, and then leave your questions in the comment section. Okay, so without further much ado, let's just dive right into this video. Right, so for first law of thermodynamics, as I already stated, there are 4 main things you need to know. Okay, so the first one is what? So these are the main building blocks of thermodynamics. Okay, so once you get this concept, you are good to go. Okay, so let's proceed. So one, if heat is added to a certain system, okay, the internal energy of the system increases. Okay, so let me clarify this. Whenever you hear something like increase, decrease, okay, increase means positive, okay, increase means positive, decrease means negative. Okay, right, so whenever you hear increase, it means positive, and then whenever you hear decrease, it means what? Negative. Okay, so let's proceed. So the first point is whenever heat is added, okay, note these points. Heat is added to a system. Okay, whenever heat is added to a system, the internal energy of the system becomes what? Positive or increases. Now let's proceed. Whenever heat leaves the system, okay, whenever heat leaves the system, the internal energy of the system what? Decreases. Okay, so from here, when heat is added, the internal energy is what? Increase. Okay, and then when heat leaves the system, the internal energy is what? Decreased. Okay, now let's proceed. Now let's look at for work. Okay, so we know, I'll break down what you need to know about maybe this being what? Maybe A being heat, and then B being what? Work, or what? Internal energy. Okay, so let's proceed. So now, if the work is done by the system, okay, work is done by the system, okay, then the internal energy of the system decreases. Okay, so if the work is done by the system, then the internal energy what? Decreases. But if the work is done on the system, the internal energy of the system what? Increases. You need to note these points. Okay, they are very important. When heat is added to a system, internal energy is positive. When heat leaves the system, internal energy is negative. When work is done by the system, internal energy is what? Negative or decreases. And then when work is done on the system, the internal energy is what? Increased. Now let's see. This is the main formula. Okay, so we know the change in internal energy. Okay, change in internal energy is called what? The heat plus or minus what? The work done. Okay, so plus or minus means that the work could be what? Positive or negative. Same applies to what? The heat. Okay, the heat could be positive or negative, and then the work done could be positive or negative. So let's take an example to clarify things up. Okay, now, so hope you could all read this. Okay, 300 joules of heat. Again, internal energy, heat, and work done are all measured in joules. Okay, keep that in mind. The unit for such components are very, very important. Okay, once you get the answer and then you omit the units, you are totally wrong. Okay, keep track of the units. Okay, so now for this example, 300 joules of heat is added. Okay, so from here we know that heat is added. It means that what? Heat is positive. Okay, whenever heat is added to a system, internal energy increases, means that it was positive. Okay, now to a system and 2500 joules of work is done by the system. The work is done by the system. That means the work is what? Negative. The work done is what? Negative. If the work is done by the system, the internal energy of the system decreases. That's negative. Okay, right. So let's proceed. So 300 joules of heat is added to a system and 2500 joules of work is done by the system. What is the change in what? Internal energy. Okay, so there's our solution. Okay, so we know that change in internal energy is equal to what? The heat plus or minus what? The work done. Okay, so now let's see. We know that what? We have a certain 300 joules of heat added to a system, so the heat is what? Positive. Okay, right. So we have 3. Okay, so this initially 3000. Okay, this is 3000 joules. 3000 joules. Okay, so we have 3000 joules and then we have 2500 what? Joules of work is done by the system. Okay, so that's what? Negative. Okay, we have 2500. Okay, these are all in what? Joules. Okay, so what will be the final answer for change in what? Internal energy? So our final answer for change in internal energy will be what? 500 joules. It means that we have a positive internal energy. Okay, so you could pick another what? Question. Maybe let's say 300 joules of heat is, for this case 300 joules of heat is not added to the system. Okay, so for me I could state that maybe 300 joules of heat leaves the system. Okay, so let's substitute this for what? Leaves the system. Okay, leaves the system. So we are substituting this for this. Another question. Okay, so let's say we have it leaves the system. Okay, so 300 joules of heat leaves the system. Okay, and then 2500 joules of work is done on the system. Okay, so we substitute this with what? On the system. Okay, so now we have what? 3000 joules of heat is heat. Okay, heat leaves the system and then 2500 joules of work is done on the system. It means that both are what? 200 joules of heat leaves the system. It means that the heat will be what? Negative. Okay, and then the work done will be what? Positive, because from here, from the principle, we know that when heat leaves the system is what? Negative, and then when work is done on the system is what? Positive. So let's try find the answer. Okay, so we know that change in internal energy is what? Q plus or minus work done. Okay, so now we have heat leaving the system, so we have minus what? 3000, and then we have what's done by the system. Okay, work is done on the system, so we have positive 2500. Okay, so we have what? A negative what? 500 joules. Okay, of what? Internal energy. Okay, so you can play around with this question, you can set your own question. Okay, right. So this brings us to the end of this video. Kindly subscribe to the channel, hit on the bell icon so that you don't miss out on any uploaded video. Like the video so that it gets pushed to other students who might need this video with their academics. Okay, and then let me know your questions in the comment section below, and I'll see you in the next video. We'll be talking about enthalpy in the next video. Okay, so I'll see you in the next video. In case you don't want to miss the next video on the enthalpy analysis or enthalpy concept, kindly subscribe and then hit on the bell icon so that you don't miss out on any uploaded video. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.